Justin Bieber's wife is not liked by a lot of people, and she's not doing herself any favors. Hello, my friend. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and many of you know that Selena Gomez's ex-boyfriend had a very bitter breakup with this guy. That is Scooter Braun, the person who discovered Justin Bieber, helped make him a star, and also A&R'd his albums, except for this one. If you don't know what that means, basically, Scooter helped to shape and ensure that all of Bieber's music was as good as possible. But they recently had a very public falling out. Scooter is not involved with swag or in anything Bieber business related anymore, despite helping him professionally and personally for decades, about 15 plus years. In fact, their relationship made headlines just this week when Bieber finally paid Scooter the millions upon millions, tens of millions of dollars that was owed to Braun when Scooter bailed out Bieber for canceling his last world tour. So I was very pleasantly surprised, I was going to say, but not really. I was pleased when I saw what Scooter just said earlier today about the Biebs' new album. He took to his social media to share publicly, quote, "Been having a beautiful start to the weekend and been getting a lot of texts about how I feel about Justin's new album. So I will just leave this here. This is, without a doubt, the most authentically Justin Bieber album to date. It's beautiful, raw, and truly him. And that matters." I already shared my review of Swag. If you missed it, watch that video. Scooter, however, adds, "I've had the privilege of witnessing his growth for almost 2 decades. Along every journey, there comes a time when an artist fully steps into their own, and that's what he's done here. He poured his soul into this project, and you can feel it in every single run." I can't. Can you? Scooter adds, "The way he chose to release it is just as intentional as the music itself, and I'm happy to see him do it his way. I have played no role in this one, but as someone who's always believed in him, I'm incredibly proud and impressed and genuinely enjoying the music. Justin has a special tone that I have witnessed for almost 2 decades. It's the best in the world. And because of that special tone, I have to say, Daisies is probably my favorite record on the album. The most pop song." Was that shade? Is that shade? He's highlighting the most pop song on what is not a pop album. That was intentional. Bieber did not want to release a pop record. As I shared with you earlier, he's got a separate pop album that he has been working on that he will release sooner than later. I don't think it's shady. I think that's just what resonates with Scooter, the pop side of Bieber. And I think that's what resonates with the masses. I said in my review that he tried. Bieber wanted this to be an R&B album, and sonically it is that, but he doesn't have that tone that Scooter talks about. That tone is a pop tone. Bieber doesn't have soulfulness in his voice like Adele does. She's got grit. She's got wisdom. Bieber has a beautiful pop tone. That's not a diss, it's a compliment. And Bieber's former manager adds, "Stream Swag and support an authentic voice. Now I'm off to take my kids to watch Superman. Have a great weekend. Well, I thought this was, even if you consider that little bit about tone and his favorite song being the most pop song on the album, shade, it's not shade. I think this was lovely and kind and sweet. And this was published as of the time of me making this 5 hours ago. Well, 4 hours ago, meaning shortly after Scooter shared those kind words, Justin Bieber's wife, aka Selena Gomez's former stalker, Hailey Bieber, shared the following on her social media. This ridiculous photo, altered image of herself, bugging out, eyes looking at what just happened, accompanied by the Mariah Carey song Obsessed. You know that song. Why you so obsessed with me? Leading many people to believe that Hailey is inferring that Scooter is obsessed with Justin. I'm kinder. Old Perez would have... So, I'm going to leave my thoughts to myself, and I will challenge you all. Respond to Hailey Bieber in this video without being nasty. You don't have to be kind, but you can not be nasty. And because I want to end on a positive note, let me share this with you all. Bieber's new album, after its first day of release, debuted at #1 on both the global and US Apple Music and Spotify album charts. And Daisies, the song that Scooter highlighted, is the most streamed song from Swag. It claimed the #1 spot on Spotify's US and global song debut chart. This is the biggest global pop streaming debut of the year. But Morgan Wallen still debuted to much bigger. And if early projections hold up, Bieber is going to have a wonderful first week. According to Hits Daily Double, Swag is aiming for 175,000 units, which I actually projected almost exactly that amount. I told an industry insider friend of mine that I was texting with, my guess is 200K. But even if it's just 175, this is very impressive because it's just streaming. He's not sold any vinyl, which is how these superstar artists make huge debuts in their first week. There's also been a big resurgence in physical CDs, and he didn't sell any of those either. There's also been no music videos, which also are counted towards the Billboard charts. Everything has been just on streaming alone. And he didn't even, this is what's so crazy about it. It was a surprise release, and he didn't even announce it the very first thing Friday morning. He waited for a few hours, mid-morning, midday on the East Coast. Like, he couldn't wake up early to let everybody know. But like Scooter said, Justin did this on his terms and is succeeding on his own terms without Scooter, without anybody else. This is all him. So congrats. All right, that's it for now. See you in the comments.